One of the contracts I'm going at is at the state level, and it's to do the property inspections for Section 8. And so I am on the state website because you have to register as a supplier. So this is something that you might want to consider if you're going after government contracts, is to get registered at the state level so that you can actually go after some of these contracts, because you have to be registered as a vendor in most states in order to do so. So here I am just kind of looking at the instructions on how to do it. It takes me over to this manual. So I'm going to go ahead and download that so that I have it. And then I'm going to get back over here and kind of snoop around a little bit. I'm looking at the statewide contracts, and this is something very important because there's another contract I'm going after that's got to do with training, and that's actually in my wheelhouse. And so I'm just kind of looking through here just to see what, contracts the state has done in the past. And I'm just doing some different searches. I searched for notary, I searched for courier. I ended up finding a small package delivery contract, and I was looking at that, and I went to look at that contract. I think FedEx ended up with it. But anyway, I got out of that and started getting my registration complete. So it didn't take very long. I encourage you to do it, especially if you're in the state of Tennessee. Edison is the place that you have to register, and it's just a 5-step process. And then once you've registered, you can bid on the contracts. So you definitely want to make sure you get registered. You can look at the contracts without, and see what's coming up without having, registered. But in order to actually do business with the state, you will ultimately have to get registered. So I had to get my W-9 updated. That's what that was. Now I'm going through here, and they have these things called a UNSPSC code. Those are SIC codes, but specifically to the state. So I went in there to figure out what my codes were, tried to submit my registration, and had a whole bunch of errors that I needed to go back and correct. So this is the process of me doing that. And another thing is, Complete Signings LLC is home of Notary Nerds University, but I also spoke with the contact at the Women's Business Center here in the Southeast region. And she explained that it would be okay for me to take my other businesses and put them underneath Complete Signings LLC. And the reason for that is because Complete Signings LLC has already got its SBA certification and an established history. So the other businesses are sole proprietorships, and Complete Signings is an LLC. All of the businesses have revenues, so that's not going to be the issue. It's just that Complete Signings has the certification. So that opens some doors for the other businesses. So I went in here and put in my codes that had to do with those other businesses as well, real estate and agriculture, because there's all kinds of opportunities at the state level. So I wanted to make sure I covered all of my bases. And then I explained down in the comments a little bit more about why I both can provide training services as well as agricultural services and real estate services. So that's what that is. And then, I just went through here to see exactly, I tried to hit submit again, and I think I still had a couple of errors that I needed to fix. No, this was when I figured everything out. Now I go through on step 3 and just enter my address. A lot of this was really repetitive, but, I just followed the instructions, just take the time. It took me maybe, 20 minutes. I was looking at TV and doing it at the same time, so it might have taken me a little bit longer, but it doesn't take very long. And the reason you want to just consider this, you want to consider registering your notary business as a vendor with your state, because when I was looking at some of the opportunities, paper products, sanitary napkins, there were so many different things. There were some food items, men's shoes, institutional shoes, and I'm assuming that was for the jails and whatnot. But there was all sorts of different types of things that the state needs small business owners to provide them, And so your notary business, even though it's not notary services that you would be providing, you registering your notary business gives you an inroads to be able to go out and find and provide other products and services for your state. So definitely just take a look at it. It's, free for, at least it is here in the state of Tennessee, to register as a supplier. And especially if you got an established business, why not, So here I am finishing up the registration process, and I don't think there's much to do here. What it's asking for is the type of contact. I told it I'm an internal corporate contact. And it's asking me to tell it what I want my ID to be. So I'm just giving it, using the parameters they provide, and telling it what I want my username or my registration ID to be. And so that's what that is all about. And then once I get that done, I'll tell it that I'm in the central time zone, and then I'll hit OK. Then once that's done, I'm going to go and just make sure, all right, review everything, and everything is like it's supposed to be before I finally hit submit, just to make sure I don't have any mistakes. I'm going to make sure I re-enter my email just to confirm my email address. And then I'm going to go down and read the terms of agreement just to make sure I know what all of that is about. And it was pretty straightforward. It basically said, whatever you submit here, it, becomes the property of the state of Tennessee. And you better be being honest, when you're submitting information. And I am. So I clicked yes, that I've read it. Then I clicked the review button just to kind of go over everything again. My name, I tried to click on the attachment just to see it, but it didn't pull up. So I got back out of that. And then I just kind of scrolled down through the entire thing just to kind of glance at it, just to make sure that there wasn't anything that I missed or misspelled or mistyped or anything like that. So this is just me scrolling back through it. It didn't take very long. It wasn't the most, I guess, complicated thing was getting the W-9, filled out and signed. And that wasn't a big deal at all. And then maybe looking up the different codes. So, yep, that was it. So I got out of there after I looked at everything. Everything looks good. So I hit submit. And it didn't take long to let me know that they have received my registration. And I got a registration ID. And then I got an email over in my inbox that, confirmed also that, hey, we've received your registration ID. And there's that email. And I just checked it out just to see what it said. And it just says, hey, supplier complete signings. You will receive more information in the next 3 days. So I'll keep you guys posted. But yeah, definitely go to your state's website, Google your procurement department and the steps it takes to become a vendor, and comment below and let me know once you get it done. Okay, peace.